The old man was thin and gaunt. Gaunt. Keep in mind, a u in English usually is pronounced like o. Gaunt, with deep wrinkles. Gaunt is extremely thin. An informal way to say gaunt is bony, right? Bony. Right? Or even skinny, right? Because you can see the bones of the person, or because there's just the skin, right? Skinny, bony. Imagine a very, very thin street dog. This is what you should keep in mind when you hear the word gaunt. So he was thin and gaunt with deep wrinkles. Keep in mind, I have some wrinkles on my forehead, right? Maybe a little here. But my wrinkles are a little deep, but they're not so deep. But the old man's wrinkles are very deep. In the back of his neck, I believe I have deep wrinkles in the back of my neck, but I can't see it, of course. The brown blotches of the benevolent skin cancer the sun brings from reflection, etc. Blotch, imagine I get some paint and I throw the paint on the wall, so there will be a blotch of paint on the wall. If you stay in the sun for a long time, your skin will start having some blotches. Not circles, because they're not perfect circles, but some blotches, right? Keep in mind that the shape is not something well defined, right? The brown blotches of the benevolent skin cancer the sun brings from its reflections on the tropic sea were on his cheeks, right? This is a cheek. You can kiss a person in the mouth, or you can kiss a person on the cheek. The blotches ran well down the sides of his face, and his hands had the deep creased scars from handling heavy fish on the cords. Keep in mind, I believe I have a scar. My scar disappeared. I have a scar here on this finger. I don't know if you can see it. When I was a teenager, I cut it, right? So I have a scar. Um, the blotches ran well down the sides of his face, and his hands had the deep creased. Keep in mind, all hands are creased, right? We have creases on our hands. But my hand is not deep creased. And my creases, the creases I have on my hand, are not from scars, right? They are the natural creases everybody has on their hands. But for the old man, when he catches a very big fish, he had to handle the line, the cord, the fishing line. And as you handle, imagine I'm handling the line here, and there's a big fish there, right? A huge fish. Of course, I'm going to hurt my hands all the time in different places. And those wounds, those hurts, will leave creases, scars. The blotches ran well down the sides of his face, and his hands had the deep creased scars from handling heavy fish on the cords. But none of these scars were fresh. They were not fresh because it has been a long time since the old man has handled some big fish. The scars, the creases, were as old as erosions in a fishless desert. Everything about him was old, except his eyes, and they were the same color as the sea, and were cheerful and undefeated. Keep in mind that defeat is the opposite of victory. So if you are undefeated, nobody has defeated you. Nobody has beat you in a game, competition, battle, etc. Right? So even though the old man is old, even though he is poor, life hasn't defeated him, right? And his eyes were cheerful. Cheerful is the same thing as happy, full of joy. Everything about him was old except his eyes, and they were the same color as the sea, and were cheerful and undefeated.